All right, welcome back. Hobby table. So, gonna change things up the way I normally do them. If you've been watching my build videos, then you know I usually do one episode for an entire kit build, the open kit, and then the build and the final reveal, the whole thing, soup to nuts. But in the interest of trying to keep the videos a little shorter, I'm gonna change things up a little bit. So what I'm going to do, starting with this next build here, this funky car from MPC, I'm going to do a nice detailed open kit review in one video, and then for the actual build video I'm just going to do a very quick overview of the parts and then get into the build. So based on my videos, looking back at how much I like to talk, they should cut it's about a 15-minute chunk of time going over the parts. Maybe I'll do a little bit longer depending on the kit, obviously, and what there is in it, so that when I do the build, like I said, I'll go over it real quick, but not into such depth, because I realize during the build you're going to see all the parts anyway. So there you go. Sometimes you got to think a little bit simpler. So that being said, we're going to dig into this pile of plastic here and take a look at what's in this kit. And then in my next video, go over the build. Alrighty. In the meantime, as always, thank you for watching, subscribing. Please do hit that alert bell, share it, all those good YouTube things. Very much appreciated. So now I'm going to switch to camera and we'll get to it. All right, so here we go with the open kit review for this MPC Pontiac GTO Super Stocker. Looks to be a pretty neat machine. Obviously, it is not the stock car. It is set up for racing, but what drew me to this kit is it's got a whole racing style chassis underneath with the roll cage, souped up engine, this crazy exhaust system, really nice tires. So this should be a pretty cool build. Now, I did from MPC also the concept dragster and custom hauler van. That was a little bit of a rough experience, so I'm hoping this one from MPC goes a little bit smoother, but we shall see. So starting off with the basics, we have our instructions, typical, round 2, AMT, MPC, however you want to call them. They just fold out, and it is a relatively straightforward assembly. Not too much going on in each step, but the illustrations look pretty clear cut. They do just have this one diagram here for the decals at the end, but we also have the nice box art to work with on here, so there's not much of a mystery as to where these things go. But speaking of decals, let's take a look, because it is a nice big decal sheet, and we do get on here, you can see we can go with the sort of striping that they have on the box art, but they also give you these additional striping schemes, or you could go instead of, or in addition to, the stripes that would be hood, roof, rear deck. We have some nice endorsement decals, numbers for the side of the car, the roof, 400 cubic inch. That's a lot of cubic inches. So nice decal sheet. Put that away. And first up, we will take a look at the body, and it is nicely done. And what's particularly nice, since this is not the stock car, they have already opened up the wheel wells and a port for that crazy exhaust system that's supposed to wrap up over the engine, come through the interior and out the side. So this is looking Nice. This one air effect piece was loose in the bag. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be for the front or the rear. That will be evident during assembly. But moving on, we have a one-piece clear part, front and rear windshield. Looks to be fairly clear. I'm going to leave it in the bag so that it does not get scratched. And that should mount in nice and easy. We have two big locators here. And obviously no side windows, which is just fine, being that this is supposed to be a racing style car. Now, we have, once again, round two showing that they make some of the best tires in the model business. Look at these. You get 4 of these beauties, pad printed with Goodyear on them, super wide tread, beautiful detail on that tread. You notice there's just a little bit of center seam on here. A little sanding will take that right off, but really beautiful tires. I wish they sold these separately, but then again, I'm happy they don't, because I probably buy a set of them for almost every car I build. But get 4 of these, definitely a nice highlight. Chrome, we just get one little sprue, valve covers, that looks like the rear bumper, and then shifter and some more engine parts. It's like a fuel cap, so very simple there. Now the rest of the pieces come somewhat loose. This was loose in the box. It is a 2-piece frame which needs to be joined, so that will just need to be sided up. There are 2 nice locator pins there, so that should not be a problem, and looks good enough. Again, it is molded with just this rivet detail on the bottom, so clearly this was made just for the racing style car and not at all for a stock kit. So there really is no option here to build a stock kit. This is all custom. We have a framing piece for the rear of the car. And now we'll get into our sprues. We have here this nice, let me get these out of the way. This nice sprue. We have our side of the roll cage with some nice safety netting for the driver's side. And then we have our engine. Good amount of pieces here. Detail that up so that will look good. Next sprue, we have some more of our engine pieces on here, followed by the exhaust pipes, driver's seat. Tie rod has open pinholes, so I'm not sure if this might have positioning and steering. We have a little bit of flash here. And then we have the driver's seat with the belts molded in, belt detail molded in, so those can just be brought up with some paint. We have that nice big hood molded open for the air intakes. I like that. Looks so much better than just painting them black or having to hog them out. And we have what looks like a firewall detail there. Nice set of wheels. They are not chrome, they are white, but you know, it's just a matter of how you want to paint them. You go white, spray them with silver, whatever the case may be, but those should look really good on those wheels, on those tires. Now we have some suspension elements here for the rear. Big beefy differential for handling those 400 cubic inches. Some more interior detail like the rear seat delete right there. Parts look pretty clean so far. There was that little bit of flash I noted on that one piece, but around the periphery of the pieces, they seem pretty good. We have some more internal components for the structure, some more of the roll cage. Looking good. Then we get into more roll cage parts. Some more here. Nice thing to notice here, or take note of here, you'll notice there are locator pin marks and locator pins. So that's good. So it should not be a guessing game as to where the different components of the roll cage meet. Those locator holes should help guide the assembly, which makes for good news. You know, I like building roll cages. There's something, I guess it's my physiology that I've learned or whatever, but it's almost like the anatomical structure of a vehicle. So, and roll cages, you know, you paint them up a contrasting color to the car. They really look fantastic. I've done a couple of kits in prior videos with roll cages, and you know, you can check those out. And then our last sprue to look at here, we have the extension of the exhaust pipes. It looks like the fuel cell. And we have some more of our suspension elements here, some control arms, shock absorbers, and these are our steering knuckles and pin, which means they should be positionable. So that looks pretty good. So there we go. The MPC Pontiac GTO Super Stocker. I would suspect, looking at the parts, that this is derived from a pretty detailed original stock, you know, like showroom stock car, and they have added in the extra pieces or changed some of the pieces to do the super stocker, obviously the hog outs in the body, but based on that, I suspect this may have been an Ertl kit. Ertl did some really nice kits in the 70s. I think they pretty well were, as a company, were gone by the later 70s. They have been absorbed, I believe, by AMT, MPC, and those molds went to those two companies, and they have been repurposed into God knows how many kits. But the fact that this kit has part numbers on the sprues, the detail on the parts themselves, I suspect, I may be completely wrong. Feel free in comments to correct me, that this may have been initially an Ertl kit that has been somewhat repurposed to do this. But the only reason I bring that up is for the fact that I mentioned earlier the MPC concept hauler dragster combo kit that I did. There were all sorts of problems in that kit in terms of part fit and location. If this has some Ertl heritage in it, this Pontiac, the kit should go together much better, and that should not be such an issue. But the only way to know for sure is to build it. So in the next episode, I will be doing the build of this car, and we'll get to see how that goes. So until then, you'll just have to wait. All right. Thank you for watching.